Hello baby queers and welcome back to my channel. It is time for some polyam TikTok because I don't think I've done one with just polyamorous TikToks, but I might be wrong. Either way, you know the drill. Before we get started, go get hydrated, grab some water or some tea or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll check out some TikToks together. Are you hydrated? Good, let's go.
Polyamory doesn't necessarily mean that you're like constantly looking to be with multiple people. I think it's more just that you share in the belief that you can love more than one person at a time and that it's a good thing and it doesn't like take from each other. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't necessarily mean you're out like looking all the time like, but I need two in order to be polyamorous. Like,
oh shit, better fill my quota.
yeah, exactly.
I really like this one to start because people probably get very confused when you say you're polyamorous, but then they're like, oh, okay, like how many partners do you have? And you're just like, oh, only one, or oh, I'm not dating at the moment, because they don't really understand it, because they think in order to be polyamorous you have to like fulfill the quota of dating at least 2 or 3 people. But that's really not what polyamory actually is. It can be, obviously. That's kind of the point of polyamory, that you can date multiple people. But it doesn't make you not polyamorous if you're not dating or only dating one person. Same as you're still bisexual if you only date one gender. You know,
More people are in polyamorous relationships than ever before, and there are many different types, like a triad, also commonly known as a throuple. It's when 3 people are in a romantic relationship with each other, and all partners are considered equal. This is when a person is in separate relationships with 2 different people. For example, one might have a spouse, but also have a boyfriend at the same time. Polycule. Technically, triads and Vs are types of polycules. It's one's network or map of connections within a polyamorous relationship. For example, person A might be dating person B, who is married to person C, who might also be dating both person A and person D, and so on for as many partners are in the relationship.
damn it, I should have put this one first, not second. But anyways, if you're new to polyamory and you were kind of confused with the terminology, there you go. There you go. I hope this helps.
My wife found another woman's sweater.
Hey,
Yeah.
this was in our bedroom. Whose is this?
Toss it here. Oh, this is my date from Tuesday night. She's been looking for this. Thanks, babe.
Her perfume smells really good.
I just imagine some like straight person just coming across this video and kind of feeling panic at the beginning, because I was like, oh no, my wife found the sweater and it's not hers. Well, a plot twist. It's actually okay. You know, it's okay for some people, you know? And honestly, maybe your wife found her new favorite perfume as well. So win-win, I guess.
Okay, son, this is what you need to know to live a good life. Okay. Love everyone.
Great.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
The more the merrier.
Got it.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yay.
Hey, Mom, I think you should know that I'm polyamorous. Well, I certainly didn't raise you that way.
Well, I think you did raise them that way, because honestly, I think a lot of us were taught these things by our parents. I mean, I grew up with 3 siblings, so obviously the sharing is caring came up a lot. You know, when you wanted things to yourself, but you were told to share with your siblings. Yeah, kind of happened a lot. But honestly, you can't be mad at your child interpreting that a certain way, you know? Because it is what you taught them, you know? It isn't what you had in mind, but it's still what you taught them. Because when you teach someone, they're always gonna understand it a little bit differently. Especially if it's something that isn't specified down, you know? So you did teach them.
Polyamorous people have multiple relationships each. Who does that leave for the rest of us to date? That's not fair. Well, one of the main points of polyamory is that we're not taking away anybody from anybody else. But wait a minute, you want to date polyamorous people? No, I'm monogamous. So you're upset that people you don't want to date aren't available to date, even though they are available to date. Well, I guess when you say it that way, it does sound pretty silly. So there's not really a problem here. No, I guess not. You're gonna keep complaining about it though, aren't you? Oh, for sure.
This keeps coming up. Like, if you logically explain it to them, even if they do admit that it logically makes sense, because in that case, if you don't want to date polyamorous people, then don't. No one's saying you have to. Even though it logically makes sense to explain it to them this way, they're still going to complain about it and still be like, no, but it's still not right. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter which subreddit we're on or which kind of TikToks we're watching. It just keeps coming up, you know?
By signs, you're probably not polyamorous.
You're trying to open your relationship in order to save it. It won't fix underlying issues. They'll still be there.
You cheat. If you can't respect one relationship boundary, you probably won't be able to respect multiple people's boundaries.
You just want to have sex with multiple people, but not be in love with multiple people. There are other more suitable non-monogamy categories that might be a better fit, like swinging or open relationships. Just don't call it polyamory if you can't love more than one person or be non-hierarchical. It isn't love if it can be vetoed and are disposable.
You know you are monogamous, but your partner is polyamorous. You don't have to try to be polyamorous just because you're with someone who is polyamorous. Monopoly relationships are totally a thing, and they can last too.
You're a unicorn hunter, so one of you is a straight man and the other a bi woman who have a one penis policy and are seeking out a naive bi woman to exploit. You make her think she has agency and is an equal in a relationship, but you'll discard her when you're through. In other words, you're patriarchal assholes.
Well, there you go. It could also probably be retitled into 5 types of people polyamorous people find most annoying. Because if you go around and your partner doesn't actually know, like your partner thinks you're in a monogamous relationship and you just go around cheating, but being like, oh no, I'm polyamorous, so it's fine. You're not polyamorous, you're just a dick. And you're just making polyamory seem bad, even though it's really not polyamory that's the issue here. It's you being an asshole. You know? Because don't do it. Listen. I still don't understand why people cheat. Like, it still doesn't make sense to me. Like why? Just why? Yeah, I think this is also pretty common for people to be like, oh no, it's just because men want sex with multiple women, so they just manipulate their girlfriend into thinking that's what they want. I get it that a lot of men are assholes, so I can kind of actually see where this assumption comes from. But still, just going up to people and be like, oh, honey, are you sure you're okay with this? Like, I'm sure that was just his idea. Like, you know, you don't have to go along with that. It's such a rubbish move. That's rubbish, you know, because guess what? Women can explore their sexuality too and can want sex, you know, so don't be a dickhead and just assume shit about everyone else's relationship, I guess.
I want you to be my girlfriend, and I want Tommy to be my boyfriend. But you can't have 2, you could only choose 1. That's not true. I'm polyamorous, so I can have more than 1. You'll be my primary partner. Is that okay? How come you can't just be with me? I think every relationship is different, and I can love more than one person. We just have to have good communication. How do we do that? Talk about our feelings and be honest. My dad cheated on my mom and then they got a divorce. That won't happen to us because we're truthful. If we're honest, I don't like when you have orange Cheeto fingers and you touch my stuff. I could stop doing that. Are you okay with me being polyamorous? Yeah, it's okay. We just gotta set ground rules. Wanna see my new pet hermit crab?
Well, there you go. Because honestly, I do think a lot of things are easier for kids to understand because they have had less time or had less people tell them that true love has to be between two people. You know? So honestly, I do think for a lot of things, kids just have an easier time going with it because kids learn new things every day. So if you're like, yeah, no, this is a thing. Like, you can be in love with more than one person, they're just gonna be like, okay, cool. You know? And I love how conservatives think that's brainwashing kids because they're not going to be like, okay, no, I have to fall in love with two people now, or I have to be queer if they found out about queer people, or you teach them about queer people. They're not going to be like, okay, I have to be this now. But they're just going to be like, okay, that's a thing. All right, cool. So that if they start feeling like they might be queer, it's not going to be an issue for them because they know about it and they know it's okay to be that. But if they don't know anything about it, and no one talks about it, they just think it's gonna be that it's just them or that there's something wrong with them. And I know conservatives like to say that queer people are mentally ill, and to be honest, a lot of us are. But that's not why we're queer. Come on. God, it must suck so badly because you meet this new person, and especially if it's on a dating site and it clearly says that you're polyamorous and you might already have a partner, or even if you don't, it states that you're polyamorous, but then they're suddenly trying to turn you monogamous, which is honestly equally as weird as being whole like, oh, I can turn you straight as a lesbian, like, or like a man saying that to a lesbian, because it's rubbish. You can't just go around changing people's identities. That's not how shit works. And honestly, the fact that you think that, or that you're trying to achieve that, is so rude. And honestly, you meet this person and you vibe with them and you get along well and it starts to get serious, and then they pull the shit on you. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That must hurt. You know, because maybe you're already starting to fall for this person, but then they turn out to be a dickhead. Why? Don't be rude. Come on.
Girlfriend's on her way over right now.
You mean my girlfriend?
Oh yeah, our girlfriend. But tonight it's my night.
That's right.
That's right. Do you get jealous when it's just her and I?
Sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Over what?
I don't know, because you guys have a different connection. Jealousy doesn't make sense. It's just a feeling and it creeps up on you.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Because some people say, oh, I could never do that, I'm too jealous. Jealousy doesn't really go away, I guess. Because she has a point, like, it's just a feeling. And it can just come up sometimes. But instead of going all crazy and being like, no, I'm jealous, you can't see anyone else, polyamorous people kind of take a different approach of being like, I'm gonna just kind of figure out why I feel jealous, or at least that's how it should be handled, to figure out why they're jealous and to deal with that in a healthy way versus just acting out on it. You know?
So many polyamorous flags. Why? I'm about to tell you. The polyamorous flag was first designed by Jim Evans in 1995 on MS Paint. What? Which is why it sort of looks like it was designed on MS Paint. Despite its wacky color scheme, it depicts polyamory quite beautifully. The blue stands for openness and honesty between all partners. The red represents love and passion. The black represents solidarity for those who are closeted and polyamorous. And the gold represents the importance of emotional attachment. The pi symbol is there because pi has infinite digits, and it represents the infinite love possible in polyamory. There have been multiple attempts to redesign this flag, like this one here or this one here, but ultimately this is the most widely known and accepted one. Be you and stay gay!
I kind of feel like I want to steal that and just end my videos with be you and stay gay from now on, but I can't do that, can I? I can't just steal it. But she has a point. Also, I didn't know there were this many flags. Like, I knew, like, the most common one, obviously. I didn't know there were this many. And I know some people think the pi symbol is weird, because it's like, the polyamory flag is, like, the only flag with a symbol on it. If you ignore, like, the sub, like, because being gay has, like, several sub flags, or like flags for the subtypes of like bears, or like the different sub labels. The same as like lesbians and like the lipstick lesbian type flag, you know, which is like the lesbian flag with like a symbol on it. But apart from that, the flags don't have symbols, so some people think it's weird. But the fact, like, it actually just makes a lot of sense that it stands for like infinite love possible. And that's really sweet. It's still pi, and it still reminds people of math, and queer people aren't supposed to be good at math. So it's kind of weird, but it just makes a lot of sense, actually.
Are you guys polyamorous in real life?
In real life?
Yeah, I heard your song about being polyamorous.
Oh, yeah, we're not frontin'.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because that would be weird. I mean, not that you're polyamorous. If you'd be fronting, but I'm glad that you're not.
Thanks.
I mean, I'm not polyamorous, but I do totally understand why our society is shifting in that direction. Actually, 1 in 5 people will try non-monogamy at some point in their life, which is the same ratio of people who own cats.
Wow. You know a lot about non-monogamy.
So, do you guys split your finances?
Yeah, we split everything.
So, like, if you go on a date and you pay for the girl, Dana's paying for half that date technically, right? I mean, assuming that you pay for your dates.
I do.
Sorry, am I interrogating you? This is none of my business.
No, it's cool. I love being interrogated.
Are you trying to flirt? Because I think you're flirting. But I'm not sure it's that effective. I don't know. It could be. Because honestly, how long do you think till the woman realizes she's actually polyamorous? Because how many people really look into it that deeply and then find out that it's really not right for them? Because chances are, if you're actually like this interested in polyamory or this fascinated by it, it kind of doesn't read as just being curious. It just kind of reads as you're feeling it a little too close, you know? So kind of think she might realize she's polyamorous at some point. Exactly. That's the same thing with like jealousy. Is usually just you feeling insecure or just very unsure if your partner actually loves you. And if you constantly question whether your partner actually loves you or if you're enough for your partner, you obviously wouldn't want them to see other people or even look at other people, which is where the whole toxic monogamy of, oh, he better not be talking to other women unless they're his mom type thing comes from. Because it's just feeling insecure and being like, I don't want him to realize he had the other option because then he might leave me type thing, you know? But a lot of people don't want to admit it.
You applied first for the Defense Against the Dark Arts post, is that correct?
Yes.
But you were unsuccessful?
Obviously.
yeah, things quite often don't go the way you planned. Honestly, sometimes you just gotta adapt and just be like, you know what, this is not what I was expecting. This is not what I was actually hoping for. But this is still very nice. And just go with it. You know?
No. Ooh. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
I gotta ask my favorite question. Why y'all like this? Why? Why? Just why? Because being in an open relationship requires honesty and requires consent from both people in the relationship. So if you take someone who's very clearly not interested in that kind of thing because they're monogamous and they know that that's what's right for them, trying to kind of coerce them into being like, oh, but it's okay, like, or just lie about it. If you just lie about it, that's just worse. But trying to kind of make them be okay with it, A, is a dick move, and second, that relationship is not gonna last. Why would you do this, you know?
Here's a morning in the life of a third and a polyamorous throuple. After getting up, I said good morning to everyone. And they always take this opportunity to remind me that I'm not loved as much and that I'll never be an equal. Then I said good morning to the cats. The cats hate me because they know I'm not their real mom. Maggie and Cody always tell me that when we inevitably break up, I won't be allowed to take any of the cats with me. Then Cody and I went to go get coffee and breakfast stuff. He makes me drink black coffee because he thinks I'm too fat. Anytime we go on errands together, he uses it as a chance to tell me how he loves Maggie so much more than me. And Maggie made us breakfast, but she always puts just a little bit of poison in mine because she doesn't love me. And then I cleaned the entire house all by myself because the only reason that they keep me around is for things like housework and money. And that's the morning in the life of a polyamorous third.
She said that this is based on like hate comments she got, and it's hilarious because yeah, that's probably what people think. Because if you've grown up with only monogamy really, or if you think that's like the only real option, you can't really imagine three people being like equally in love with each other and not kind of putting someone like beneath yourself to just be like, okay, this is like my partner and this is just this person who lives with us who we say we're in love with, which is just dumb. Like who does that? Come on. So it's funny. And I hope you don't have to break up because then you have to separate the cats, and that's just sad.
Telling my wife that my girlfriend is coming over.
Hey, babe.
Yeah?
My girlfriend's coming over tonight.
What do you mean?
She's grabbing tacos and we're watching movies. Do you want to join us?
Yeah. Taco and Titty Tuesday.
She heard tacos and she was so disappointed. Like before he said tacos, it was like, oh, your girlfriend's coming over. Okay, that's cool. Wait, she's bringing tacos? Because at first she was like, oh, I'm not getting tacos. But then she was excited. And it's just adorable. Because honestly, I think we've been over this in the polyamory memes video I did earlier this month. Being jealous about food is apparently just very common in polyamory. You know, like if some of your partners are getting a certain food together and not saving you some, that's sad. And that's the real reason a lot of polyamorous people are jealous a lot of the time. Okay, this I just wanted to include because it's wholesome and adorable. It's adorable. Come on. And again, kind of going off on the last one that they did with the hate comments. Why would you think they don't all love each other? You know, because they're obviously amazing together and they obviously love each other very much. And I think it's adorable and wholesome.
We get asked a lot on our social media what we would tell kids about our relationship, about a polyamorous relationship. And we're not going to have kids, but you're a kid.
Yeah.
this is Cassidy, she's my cousin, and she's a kid. What do you think of our relationship? Like, what do you know about it?
That there's 3 people dating each other.
Mm-hmm. And, like, do you think it's weird?
No.
No? Do you think it's, like, gross?
No.
Like, do you think as a child you shouldn't know that we're all 3 in a relationship?
I think I should know.
Right, because, like, you're my cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think it's, like, fine that you know as a kid?
Yeah.
And, like, that your brother knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
She's just kind of sitting there awkwardly. But honestly, this is what I said earlier. Kids don't give a shit. Kids don't give a shit. Like, old people do. And a lot of people do in general. But kids, if you just explain to them, be like, okay, these people are in love. It doesn't matter if it's like 2 men in love or a polyamorous couple. They're just gonna be like, oh, okay. Because they don't really fully understand adult relationships anyway, because how could they? They're a kid. So if you tell them, oh yeah, no, these people are in love, they're just gonna be like, oh, okay, cool, right? And just like carry on having that drink or whatever, because they don't care. So stop being a dick about it and pretending like you want to protect the kids when you literally just don't give a shit about kids.
Polyamory? Good luck with that. You know most polyamorous relationships fail, right? Just curious, when was your first relationship? When I was 17? Why? Are you still with the person you dated then? Of course not. That was over a decade ago. And how many committed relationships have you had since then? Not that many. Counting my current girlfriend, 4. So 75%, or most, of your monogamous relationships have failed? Yeah, but come on, that's different because... Oh no, your argument. It's broken.
I love this dude. Because literally, yeah. Honestly, relationships just fail sometimes. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, because honestly, kind of forcing yourself to stay in a relationship just to save the relationship when it's just completely not functional is a worse idea. So honestly, just breaking up is sometimes the best option, or the healthier option, than kind of forcibly trying to stay together for the sake of it. But being like, or pretending like polyamorous relationships are the only ones that's destined to fail is just ridiculous.
Princess too. What kind of a princess are you? Do you have magic hair? No. Magic hands? No. Do animals talk to you? No. Were you poisoned? No. Cursed? No. Kidnapped or enslaved? No. Are you guys okay? Should I call the police?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say not all of these are like bad, but again, kind of going in and just start making assumptions about anyone else's relationship doesn't end too well usually, because you can't know anything about it, and then making assumption just ends being super wrong, you know. But the first 2 really weren't bad. Like, if you're in a throuple or in a V formation type thing, that's obviously cool. The others do seem kind of weird, but oh well, especially the last one.
Asking my husband and boyfriend what's their favorite thing about each other.
Hey, baby.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about Ronnie?
He makes dinner so I don't have to.
Hey, baby.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about Ryan?
Probably the way that he treats you with love and respect, no matter what. Because you deserve that.
I love the second answer was just like so sweet and so wholesome, and the first one was just like, you know what, he makes dinner and I don't like making dinner, so there we go. It's funny. It's just funny to me. And also, does it ever get confusing if you call them both babe, especially if you live together? Because you're just standing somewhere like, babe, can you give me this thing? And either both react or none of them do. Does that ever get confusing? That's the question I have. I'm not sure the wick door to hell makes sense. Is that your door to outside, like your front door? Because then it'd kind of be funny if you name it that. But I'm not sure that makes sense, but the rest do definitely make sense. Especially the gay decor and the pets, because the queers and the pets, come on. But again, yes. And also, I just included this one because I thought it was adorable.
A polygouple.
I just asked out your friend.
And?
She said yes.
She said yes! Woo!
So you're happy?
Yeah! I'm very happy for you.
Oh, Bo Bar. You know I love you, bro.
I'm fine. I know you do.
You know I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, but you are. You're gonna go on all these dates and I'm just gonna be sitting at home.
Oh, so that's what you're sad about. You're not jealous of her, you're jealous of me.
Well, yeah, you're gonna go on all these dates. You're gonna take her to restaurants and picnics and go dancing. And I'm just gonna be sitting at home getting old.
I'm not gonna do any of that shit with her.
You aren't?
No, that's stuff I do with you.
Well, what are you gonna do with her?
I don't know, she's more introverted like me.
So you're gonna, like, talk all night or go see the sunrise?
Maybe.
Ugh. Well, that's great, honey. I'm so happy for you.
Again, it's just funny. And it just kind of goes to show that different relationships are just, you know, different. Because how could two relationships be the same? You know, because you just have, or like, you can find like shared interests with any one person. So obviously what you're going to do with one person isn't going to be like what you do with other people because you have different interests. And that's what I love about polyamory, because you're never going to find like one person who's so perfect for you that you can do anything you like with them, that you want to do with them, that they also want to do. Like, it's just honestly so impossible. But then if you have this one person that you can do interest A with, and then do completely different stuff with another person that person A isn't interested in, then it's just perfect. And it works. And that's what I love about polyamory, you know? Except that it's cute. Or like, apart from the fact that it's just adorable. I don't get why people can hate people being in love. In general, that's just, that don't make no sense. Come on. And honestly, I think it's amazing. And I don't want to see you hating on it. Anyways, that was all the TikToks I have for today. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you're hydrated. If not, what are you doing? Go drink something now. And I will see you in 3 days with my next video.